Sagorika Banerjee. Once again, I am back with another exciting video of English language. Today, I am going to teach you the gerund. So stay tuned to my channel #PolyBandTeaches and watch the video till the end. So before I begin today's class, let me just share my screen with you all. So today we are going to read about gerund. What is gerund? So let us read this sentence. Reading is his favorite pastime. Now here in this sentence, the word reading is formed from the verb read by adding ing. We also see that it is used here as the subject of a verb. So, and hence does the work of a noun. Reading is his favorite pastime. Reading becomes the subject of the verb. What is the verb here? Is. Okay, it is therefore a verb noun. So therefore this is called as a verb which is functioning as noun, the verb noun. And is in grammar, it is called as gerund. Further examples of gerund, playing cards is not allowed here. Here the verb play is attached with ing and it functions as a noun. Noun for the verb is. So playing cards is not allowed here. So playing is the gerund. I like reading poetry. Again, reading is the noun. It becomes the subject of the verb like. Okay, so I like reading poetry. Reading becomes a gerund. He is fond of hoarding money. Again, hoarding is gerund. So in sentence 1, the gerund like a noun is the subject of a verb, but like a verb, it also takes an object, thus clearly showing that it has also the force of a verb. You can see for better understanding, playing cards is not allowed here. So in this sentence, the gerund like a noun is the subject of a verb, playing card. But like a verb, it also takes an object, playing card, thus clearly showing that it has the force of a verb. So this word playing, it functions as a noun, but it has the force of a verb also. Similarly, in sentence 2, it is written, I like reading poetry. So here the gerund like a noun is the object of a verb. How? I like reading poetry. So gerund is reading. Reading like a noun is the object of the verb. But like a verb, it also acts an object, clearly showing that it has also the force of a verb. Similarly, in sentence 3, if you can see, sentence 3, he is fond of hoarding money. So in sentence 3, the gerund hoarding like a noun is governed by a preposition, but like a verb, it also acts like it also takes an object. So it is noticed that the infinitive and the gerund are alike in being used as noun, while still retaining the power that a verb has of governing another noun or pronoun in the objective case. So, in short, if we want to define gerund, a gerund is that form of a verb which ends in ing and has the force of a noun and a verb. As both the gerund and the infinitive have the force of a noun and a verb, they have the same uses. Thus, in many sentences, either of them may be used without any special difference in meaning. For example, teach him to swim. So remember, when we are using infinitive, we have to use to. Teach me to swim. Here, teach me swimming. To see is to believe. Seeing is believing. To give is better than to receive. Giving is better than receiving. Now, compound gerund forms. What are they? The following sentences contain examples of compound gerund form. Let's see what is the compound gerund form. I heard of his having gained a prize. We were fatigued on account of having walked so far. They were charged with having sheltered anarchists. He is desirous of being praised. Have you noticed something similar in all these sentences? Okay, let me tell you. Having gained, ing, and then the third form, having gained. Having walked, same. Having sheltered and being praised. So it is noticed that compound gerund forms are formed by placing a past participle after the gerunds of have and be. So in all these sentences, you found the gerund of have, having, and be. These are the gerunds of have and be. And with that, they are using past participle, that is the third form of verb. So such type of sentences or such type of words are called as compound gerund forms. The gerund of a transitive verb has the following forms. So in active sentence, it will be in the present tense, it will be loving. In the perfect tense, it will be having loved. Similarly, in passive voice, in present tense, it will be being loved. And in perfect form, it will be having been loved. As both the gerund and the present participle end in ing form. We have also known that present participle also ends in ing form. They must, but there is a difference. In gerund also we find ing form. And in the present participle, there is also the ing form of the verb. But the difference is there. And what is that? Let me tell you. The gerund has the force of a noun and a verb. So it is called as a verbal noun. The present participle has the force of an adjective and a verb. So it is called as verbal adjective. For example, he is fond of playing cricket. This is the example of gerund. And if we consider participle, playing cricket, he gained health. So this comes in participle form. The old man was tired of walking. Walking along the road, he noticed a dead cobra. We were prevented from seeing the prisoner. Seeing, he believed. So what is the basic thing, basic point of distinction in between gerund and participle? In case of gerund, we find it is a verb which is function, which has the force of a noun. And in case of participle, we find that this word is actually an adjective functioning as an adjective. It is a verb functioning as an adjective. So if you can see, the present participle has the force of an adjective and a verb. So it becomes verbal adjective. And here, the gerund has the force of a noun and a verb. I hope now the sentences are clear to you. In such compound nouns as walking stick, frying pan, hunting whip, fencing stick, writing table, walking, frying, hunting, fencing, writing, all these are gerunds. They mean, if I talk about walking stick, that means a stick for walking. Frying pan, a pan for frying. A whip for hunting, hunting whip. Fencing stick, a stick for fencing. Writing table, a table for writing. Now compare the following two sentences. I hope you will excuse my leaving early. I hope you will excuse me leaving early. So in the first sentence you have seen there is a usage of my leaving. And in the second sentence they have used me leaving early. What is the difference? In the first sentence, the word preceding the gerund is in the possessive case, while in the second sentence, it is in the objective case. My and me. Both the sentences are correct. We can either use the possessive case or objective case of nouns and pronouns before gerunds. The possessive is more formal and it is less usual in everyday speech. Here are further examples. So what was the possessive case? I hope you will excuse my leaving early. This is more formal form. So it is very less used. I hope you will excuse me leaving early. This is commonly used. So in the sentence, in the examples given here, we rejoiced at his or him being promoted. We generally say we rejoiced at his being promoted. I insist on your or you being present. I insist on your being present. Do you mind? Both are correct. Do you mind my or me sitting here? All depends on Kareem's or Kareem passing the exam. I dislike the managers or manager asking me personal questions. And the last is, the accident was due to the engine drivers or engine driver disregarding the signals. Now, use of the gerund. A gerund being a verb noun may be used as subject of a verb. So when it is functioning, it is actually a verb noun. So what are the uses of it? Firstly, it is used as the subject of a verb. For example, seeing is believing. Hunting deer is not allowed in this country. Now, in the second case, it can also be used as object of a transitive verb. How? Stop playing. Children love making mud castles. I like reading poetry. And he contemplated marrying his cousin. Another way is object of a preposition by functioning as an object of a preposition. I am tired of waiting. He is fond of swimming. He was punished for telling a lie. We were prevented from seeing the prisoner. And I have an aversion to fighting. So here it functions as the object of a preposition. It can also be used as a complement of a verb, as seeing is believing. What I most detest is smoking. And absolutely as it can be used, playing cards being his aversion, we did not play bridge. Now comes an exercise. Let us do that. Point out the participles and gerunds in the following sentences. In the case of participle, name the noun or pronoun which it qualifies. In the case of the gerund, state whether it is subject, object, complement, or used after a preposition. Waving their hats and handkerchiefs, the people cheered the king. So the answer is waving. Waving is the participle and it is qualifying the noun people. Let's see the second question. Walking on the grass is forbidden. Again, walking is the gerund and it is the subject of the verb is forbidden. Jumping over the fence, the thief escaped. Now here jumping is the participle, qualifying the thief, the noun thief. The miser spends his time in hoarding money. Here, hoarding is the gerund and it is the object of the preposition in. Much depends on Rama's returning before noon. Returning is the gerund and object of the preposition on. Amassing wealth often ruins health. So here amassing is the gerund and subject of the verb is ruins. I was surprised at Hari's being absent. Now here being is the gerund and object of the preposition is at. We spent the afternoon in playing cards. Here playing is the gerund and object of the preposition is in. The miser hated spending money. Here spending is the gerund and object of the verb is hated. Praising all alike is praising none. So here first praising becomes a gerund and it is the subject of the verb is. And the second phrasing is the gerund, which is the complement of the verb is. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. That's all for today. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. That is #PolyvanTeaches. And yes, do not forget to click on the bell icon so that you get the notifications of all my latest videos. So till I bring more videos, bye bye.